So we got an update on Corey Harris. Now, Corey Harris became a meme last week. A video came out that went viral, which Corey Harris was on a court Zoom call. And on that Zoom call, he was driving. He was in the car driving. And come to find out, he was driving his wife, who was really sick, to a really important meeting or a really important doctor's appointment. And the video came out. A bunch of people were making fun of him. A bunch of people were making jokes about it, making memes about it. Oh, look at this stupid criminal. This guy's so dumb. Well, come to find out that the big thing was that he was driving without a license, allegedly. And then a few days later, it was found out that his license was no longer suspended in 2022. And then now we got an even bigger update today. And this situation just keeps getting crazier and crazier. And I thought I just had to cover it on the show. So, the Daily Beast. I don't know how to feel about that. But anyway, I'm going to read the article anyway. On May 15th, a Michigan man by the name of Corey Harris showed up at a virtual court hearing behind the wheel of his car after being cited for driving without a license. Footage of Harris speaking to the flabbergasted judge was posted online and shot to stratospheric levels. Then came the twist of the case, the revelation of the judge in a neighbor court had ordered the suspension of Harris's license to be lifted 2 years ago. So this is what I just mentioned, how so everyone's making fun of him, then come to find out his license was actually, the suspension on his license was actually lifted. So, if you are not concerned about how crappy the government is and you think the government's great, they can't even file paperwork correctly. They can't even keep track of paperwork. Our justice system is messed up, and that is why I started my new series, Judged. So check that out. I have a new episode out now if you want to watch that. But things got even stranger at a Wednesday hearing, which began with Judge Cedric Simpson, I'm pretty sure that's how you say that, Cedric, revealing that Harris had in fact never had a driver's license. This is some, keep you on your toes, dude. This is some entertaining court right here. You just don't know what's going on. And ended with the defendant being taken into custody. Simpson opened up the hearing by saying that he wanted to make sure the record was clear. Based upon what the court has looked at, he has never had a Michigan license. Dun, dun, dun. Ever. He said. And he has never had a license in the other 49 states and Commonwealth that forms upon this great union. So, the judge finds out, he comes to this revelation that Corey Harris has never had a license to begin with. Okay, so how is he driving? How does he have a car? A lot of questions are in play. What's going on here? Because clearly one person saying that he had a license, that they suspended his license. So this is what's going on here. This is the most confusing thing ever. And how is the government not efficient at their job? He has never had a license. The judge went to untangle the confusion, explaining that it had not been lifted, had not been Harris's license that had been suspended last October in Pittsfield Township, but rather his privilege to drive. So, for those of you who might be confused, a privilege to drive. It's a limited driving privilege. It's not made up. It's not something that your mom would make up to, stop you from not doing your homework on time or whatever. It's a judgment issued in the discretion of the court. It's authority for a person who has a revoked license, and they're allowed to drive when it comes to essential purposes, basically. So examples here, I have 7 of them. It's a person's employment, the person maintenance of a person's household, the person's education, the person's court-ordered treatment or assessment, community service, or othered as a condition of a person's probation, emergency medical care, and religious worship. So, say like you were drinking and driving, you got your license suspended, but you can still go to work, but you have to be home at like a certain time. That would be an example of that. Hence, for example, if he had a Kentucky license, he would be able to drive everywhere that Kentucky would allow him to drive, Simpson said. He just couldn't drive in Michigan because his privileges had been restricted in that state. So his driving privileges were restricted in that state. In fact, Harris knew the prosecutor, Conrad Siller, said during a Wednesday hearing that police body cam footage showed Harris acknowledging at least twice, quote, at least twice, to the officer who pulled him over that he didn't have a valid license. So, according to this judge, or according to the prosecutor, Harris here, Corey Harris, had admitted twice on a police body cam footage that he did not have a license twice. He admitted it twice. As to how the court figured it out, Simpson explained that his office had gone back through Harris's records, finding that he had applied for his first Michigan photo ID on May 3rd, 1999, at the age of 19. Counsel knows, and so do I, you cannot have both. Either you have an ID or a driver's license. So it's saying here that he has a photo ID and not a license, and the judge is alluding to the fact that you cannot have both. I don't know exactly how true that is, so I can't really comment on that. That's just what the judge said. So you either have an ID or have a license. That's what Simpson said. And he figured, and he has religiously every year gotten a new photo ID, or a new ID. And so he knows that he doesn't have a license. And quite frankly, I just wish he would have said that in the beginning, and all of this hoopla would have been put all aside. Hoopla. I'm not kidding, that's what the judge said. We are using SpongeBob lingo in the courtroom, ladies and gentlemen. Tape around his body. Some 80-year-old judge is using the word hoopla. Wow. The fresh twist in the saga was first reported on X by a journalist, or HuffPost, after Harris' distraught pretrial hearing on May 15th. Simpson revoked his bond and ordered to turn himself in the Washtenaw County Jail by that evening. 2 weeks later, shortly after Harris went viral, local ABC affiliate WXYZ, which, by the way, does ABC just have a bunch of telegraph networks that just have different letters in the alphabet? Is there an LMNOP one that I don't know about? Because if there is, I want to know about it. Because I would watch LMNOP every day. 2 weeks later, shortly after Harris went viral, local ABC affiliate WXYZ reported that his suspension which was tied to a child support case, had actually been lifted by a judge in 2022. And then, quote, "It has literally been pure hell. I've been assaulted, I've been followed, I've been laughed at, I've been ridiculed, I have been disrespected." Yeah, that sucks. I couldn't imagine. That's going to be on the internet forever. And if you got like a bunch of dumb people that don't know how to check facts on things, then you are going to continue to be ridiculed for a very long time. And, yeah, it sucks. Also, unpaid child support, that's stupid. First of all, I don't even believe child support should be a thing. You should not have to pay any child support. Okay, if the mother, if you and your spouse get a divorce and you're fighting over who gets the children, and you're literally fighting to get this person's children taken away from them for good, and they only get visitation on the weekends, that you don't deserve child support. I'm sorry. Why do you earn child support? You clearly think you're better without him. I also think that child support encourages divorce. The idea that child support exists encourages women to divorce their husbands. Because they're like, hey, I can take his kid away, have his kid forever, and he has to pay it. Why wouldn't you do that? Like that sounds like a very appealing idea. Child support is a deeply evil thing, in my opinion. And it just shouldn't be legal. You're literally fighting to take someone's child away from them. Like, that's just stupid. Harris told the station the reports shed light on a seemingly thicket bureaucratic incompetence that led to the wrongful citation. Yeah, this is literally all the court's fault. This is all just bureaucratic incompetence. That is... I just trust the government even less now. Not that I even trusted them in the first place. But in order to see the driving record wiped clean, Harris was supposed to have paid a $125 fee to the Saginaw County Court Clerk Office, which would have allowed the court to send a notice of clearance to Michigan Secretary of State's office, which overseeing regulation of the state's motor vehicles. Harris pointed a finger at the Saginaw County front of the court, an office that assisted the court's administrator. They were supposed to have lifted it 2 years ago, but they didn't, told XYZ, adding, "Always double check behind these workers because they say they will do something and then they won't do it." Which, not wrong about that either. This has been the case for a very long time. This is just what they do. They say they're going to do something, they don't do it. For example, I got a ticket for an expired registration, and trying to pay the ticket, I've emailed the court multiple times, and they have not given me an option to pay it yet. So like you can't rely on these people. These people suck at their jobs. So yeah, I thought I'd just give you the update on the Corey Harris situation. Thank you for watching all the way through the end. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, you can tune into my full show to watch all of my episodes early. And as always, God bless.